Hey guys, in today's book review, I'm going to be doing a review on The Suicide Exhibition by Justin Richards. It's the middle of World War II, and British Foreign Office troubleshooter Guy Pentecross has stumbled into a conspiracy involving a secret war with an alien race known as the Vril. The Nazis, notorious believers in the occult, are in league with the Vril, and they believe it's their destiny to side with the Vril so they can inherit the Earth. It's up to Guy, Sarah Diamond, and Leo Davenport to join a secret unit of British intelligence to fight the Vril and save Earth. First of all, I won this book on Goodreads, so thank you very much, Goodreads. I don't read a heck of a lot of science fiction. I'm more of a fantasy person, so I'm not quite sure how to properly review this sort of book, but I'll give it my best. Overall, I really did enjoy this first book. The series is called The Never War, and yeah, I had absolutely no idea this was a series when I first won it on Goodreads. I think I definitely do plan and intend on continuing the series. I did enjoy it enough to do that. And the author, Justin Richards, he's actually also a very popular writer for Doctor Who fiction. So I was also excited to read this book because of that, because I have read one of Justin Richards' Doctor Who novelizations. And I think it's just kind of ironic that Justin Richards did write this, plus his connection with writing Doctor Who fiction, because that was kind of my parallel with this book as well. If you enjoy like the historical World War II episodes of Doctor Who, I think there's a pretty good chance you'll enjoy this book just as much. So I'll just dive into some of my positives and negatives about this book. Let's start off with the premise. The premise of this book is what really captured my attention. The fact that it's historical fiction taking place in World War II and that it has a science fiction edge to it. There's a lot going on in this book, considering that it's not a very particularly long book to start off with, but there's quite a bit going on. You have one of the lead characters, Guy Pentecross, who just stumbles into this whole conspiracy, and he finds other people who are trying to discover the same things that he's trying to discover, and discover who this alien race is and what they want. And then on top of that, you got a secret unit of British intelligence, and then you also have the Nazis who are doing their own thing, trying to work with this alien race. And then you also have the alien race itself, known as the Vril, V-R-I-L. I'm not sure if you all can tell how I'm pronouncing it or not, but the Vril. And this alien race has apparently been on Earth for millennia, and they are just now finally making their big move to do away with humanity and whatnot, because that's what alien races like to do. So that all sounds intriguing, right? You got Nazis, you got aliens, you got a secret unit of British intelligence. It's all great. Justin Richards does a great job in establishing this world. He does a great job with this world building. He does a pretty good job with the historical setting. Justin Richards does take quite a lot of time setting the book up, so things at first can be a little bit boring. You know, when you read this book and you read the synopsis, you know that it has something to do with aliens. So yeah, for a good percentage of the book, you're kind of waiting for stuff to happen, and you're waiting for the aliens. But once Richards gets going, it really gets going, and this book is actually super fun. I think what this first book might possibly suffer from is the fact that it is a first book in a series, and it is introducing the plot, it is introducing the characters, and so yeah, I think that might be a problem, that there's just too much introduction going on and not a lot of actual doing. So I have a feeling, you know, in the next books, however many other books there are, I'm assuming, you know, things will get right into the action, and things will just immediately get going. And like I also said earlier, I don't read a heck of a lot of science fiction, so there were points in this book that I did get a little bored and confused, and I just didn't understand the scientific mumbo jumbo and, you know, all that goodness. And then on top of that, there's a lot of military lingo added to the mix, which kind of would also make me go, what's going on? So yeah, there would be points where I had trouble comprehending what exactly the characters were up to. So moving on over to characters in general, I really found these characters pretty fascinating and interesting. Unfortunately though, the main character, if you can call him the main character, I'm not quite sure if this guy is technically the main character, but Guy Pentcross, he's kind of one of the first characters we're introduced to. Unfortunately, he's kind of bland and boring. There's not really much of a personality to him. You do like Guy, he's a likable character, but other than that, it's like, well, I have no attachment to him, really, you know? Like I said, he just doesn't really have a personality that jumps out at you. All I walked away at the end of this novel was that Guy was brave and loyal. That's it. I think Guy is outshined by all of the other characters. There are some pretty fascinating characters in this novel, and yet everyone definitely outshines poor Guy. Like Leo Davenport, for instance. I left this novel in love with Leo Davenport. He was seriously my favorite character in this entire book. Leo was actually my favorite character. He's actually an actor, but on the side, he likes to help with the British Secret Service. Leo Davenport was definitely the most interesting. He was definitely the most fun and humorous. I just immediately leapt onto his character and just enjoyed every moment he was on the page. And then I also really liked Sarah Diamond. She's a female American pilot who's half American, half British. The first thing that stood out to me about Sarah Diamond, she made me think of Peggy Carter from like Captain America or Agent Carter, the TV show, like those things like from Marvel. Yeah, she definitely reminded me of Peggy Carter. If you like Peggy Carter, I think you'll definitely really enjoy Sarah's story in this book. Sarah was just really fun. She's not the typical woman of the time period. She can definitely rely on herself. She doesn't need the men to constantly help her, but if she does need their help, she asks for it. And then the Vril themselves, the alien race, we're not really given much about them. Like I keep saying in this review, this book is mostly just setting up things to come. So the Vril are definitely a big, huge mystery. You're just not quite sure on their motives and agendas and why it is that they're helping the Nazis. Overall, I did definitely highly enjoy this first book. I definitely do plan on continuing. It definitely has sparked my interest to see where the story and the characters are going. So have you guys read The Suicide Exhibition? Do you intend on reading it in the future? Just let me know your thoughts down below. So that's it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this book review, you may like these other book reviews. Bye guys.